You sit down, ready to start work, but then your mind draws a blank. You start thinking about what to do, but you can't come up with anything new. Maybe Corel VideoStudio 2023 is the answer for you. Hey, it's Krypton. As always, thanks for joining me. Now let's see what's new in Corel VideoStudio 2023. It looks to me like they really went after the audio this time. So one of the new features here is called audio cues. I'll give you a quick demo of what it does. Place any footage onto your music track, and obviously it's got to be an audio clip. Over here, you now have an option called audio cues. Click it once. Two options: you can manually add in the cues, or you can let VideoStudio do it for you. Let's do the auto audios. Little panel will pop up and you've got two options: cues per beat or cue interval. In other words, here you can actually set the time for each cue, or you let the cues per beat either quarter or looks like one. Now I'm not a music guy, so I don't actually understand what quarter or 4/4 mean, but I guess if you're musically inclined, you'll go, oh, I know what that is. All right, so we'll press OK, and then it will analyze and slowly put in all the cue beats. Here we go. So as you can see, there's now little cue markers here on your audio track. Let's get out of this. You can always go back into it. You can also click on here and just delete in case it's wrong. But let's just continue. Now the whole idea of this is now you can actually place your clips according to the beats of the song. It just gives you a better visual look of where to actually start a clip or end a clip. This is really handy when you do certain things like a montage and you just want to have all the video transitions change on those beats. Now, according to Corel, what it also can do when you start adding in transitions, the software itself will then adjust the timeline of the video track to the cue beats. But I'll leave that up to another video because all I'm doing today is making a review. Next, they gave the audio waveform a bit of a tweak, and in other words, a bit of a boost. Over here, you can see I already have something in the timeline, and in the preview window, what they've done is basically enhance the first 10 frames before the scrubber and 10 frames after the scrubber. And this just allows you to zoom in and make really good precision cuts in your audio track. Another feature what they've added in here is you can do selection modes right here. Click it and then you can make the selection where you want the audios to say delete, and you can see that also on your track. If I hit the little delete one here, watch, I've now deleted that section of the audio, and I can make real precise edits on my audio. And that's kind of cool because in the previous version, yes, you also had the preview, but it wasn't quite as enhanced as it is now. So that's pretty cool. Enhanced keyframes on your audio track, and this is a little feature or little update, but I think it's so cool. So let's go in the audio edit so we get the timeline, and let's place a keyframe here and a keyframe here. Let's do a little fade in and a little fade out like so. Okay, in the previous version, if I wanted to increase the volume, I couldn't do it because the second I hold down my mouse key, it would create another keyframe, and I'll show you what I mean. It would do this. This is not what I want. I want this volume to increase. So let's Control Z that. But still, let's just click and drag it so it's out of the way. Now what I can do, I can just hold my mouse down and then the whole thing moves up and down. This little feature, this little update is a huge time saver. Next, they gave you a lot more creative control regarding your text, and this is something that I enjoy immensely because text is always cool to play with. And I'm going to show you one of the first options here is if you double click, highlight this text, you're going to greet it with this new interface here: enter, middle, and exit. In other words, you have more control on how the text goes in, what it does in the middle, and then it exits. Whereas before you only had one option of whatever the animation gave you, you dealt with that. Now, if you go into motion, let's go into, they've got something here new called the kinetic and the parallax. And I will explain the parallax, which is also a new feature in the transitions, but bear with me. Let's just do something different. Let's go into the fly, but I only wanted it on the beginning. So let's enter it, sorry, fly, and I'll just do it here. Now watch, I've just applied it only in the beginning. Now what I can do at the end, I can change it what it does at the end. So on the exit, I don't know, fade out. So let's do that. So I'm just got a little bit more creative control in, and then it fades. And that's kind of neat. Now watch this. This is even gets better. I'm going to show you again what it can do. I can now customize it even further. It just doesn't end here, right? It just keeps going and going and going. They are really giving you a lot of control on what this text does. So maybe I don't like it to fade out just statically. So you know what? I'm going to move it over here. Now let's play that. All right. Well, obviously I did it wrong, but you get the general idea. I've got now controls how I move the clip, and I still have the options here. I have all the options of intimate, long, and text or words or character. Everything is at my fingertips in this one little panel, and I think that's really neat. Merge media. Now this will allows me to add in video or graphics into my title. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to highlight my clip and you'll see here a new icon. If I move over it, I'll click on it once and it says here insert video. I'm going to grab this little video clip that I used in the beginning of my video, and now you'll see that there's a video actually inserted in here. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's the exact time length, or the same length as this graphic on the timeline. And what else can I do? I can actually add in another one. So I can go into here and I can add in something from the library. Maybe I add in the arrow. So I'm going to click and drag it. I'm just going to drop it here, but watch, it'll automatically adjust it. See, bingo. Now I've got two new elements that I can play with within this graphic, and it's just kind of cool, or the text I should say. Let's say I want to manipulate the video. I go back in here and I highlight the video, and what it does, it then gives me all the options for the video. So let's now double click and it gets all the controls that I ever need, so I can make it go in on the left and up to the top on the way out, or at the end of it. So in, up, and then it'll move up. Now, you can have a lot of fun with this. All you have to do is be creative and come up with some really cool ideas. I can go back into here again, and then I can manipulate, say, the text. What do I want to do with the text? Maybe I want to add a motion to it. And at the exit, I also want this to fade out or fly out or do anything I want. Let's fly it out. Let's apply just anything simple. And then bingo, let's go again. See, so you can come up with some really cool effects using this little new option called Merge Media. Parallax, it's a new transition that they've added. It's called the Parallax transition. Once you go in here, you get all these presets. It doesn't matter which one you grab because you're going to customize it to where you want it. Let's click, drag, and place it onto our footage. So basically here, I've got a cityscape from today and then one in the future. And I want to make a really cool transition from one to the other. So with the Parallax, double click. Go into the custom options, a little panel will pop up. I'm going to hit clear all because I don't want theirs, I want mine. And I could make, let's say, a straight line or a diagonal line like this. And that's realistically what I want, but I want it to go from left to right. So let's do that. And I'm going to press OK. So what it's going to do, it's going to first cut the clip in half and move it, the bottom piece and the top piece at different speed. I'll play it first so you get to see it. Alright, so it could be a little bit faster. I'm just going to slow it down a bit. So you can see here, this is cut, and then what happens is, this one's kind of like going faster than the bottom, so it's out of alignment. And that's called the parallax effect, like so. What you can also do is you can actually place this entire transition on the clip and actually create a parallax transition just on one singular clip. But what I'll do, obviously, I will make a more in-depth tutorial later on to show you how this parallax feature works. New blue filters, to me it looks like they may have added more. I may be wrong on this because I upgraded 2022, so I could be off. If I am, please leave a comment down below. But I will show you what they did add, that's 100% true, is they added in more of the custom toolbar. So one of the things that I always thought was weird, that they had this custom toolbar. Why not add in the snapshot here? It would have been a lot easier than always going up to, edit and look for the snapshot up here. It's here now. Microphone for the voiceover. Again, this is something that I use quite often. Why isn't it more accessible rather than going through this panel here? And again, so they've given you way more to work with because as you can see, it's quite a lot that you can add into your toolbar. So I think that's pretty neat. Those are the main updates for VideoStudio 2023, and now just some of the back-end stuff. So performance-wise, they've actually increased it. They've introduced one Intel or Intel 1 VPL, and this allows your CPU and your GPU to work together to render your project much, much faster. They've also now gave 8K support, so if you want to work with 8K, you can import there into VideoStudio with no problems. Your camera support has also been increased. More Canon, more Nikon cameras have been added added to the library. That's good news for the guys who want to do more stop motion type work. And last but not least, they've also added in 500 new songs in the score fitted music library. So that's quite a big library you get to work with now. I think overall it's not a bad update. I think there's a lot of new creative possibilities that one can apply, especially with the new stuff that we see on the social media. And there you go, my friends. That's my review on Corel VideoStudio 2023. And as always, thanks for watching.